Greetings. This is Doc Ock coming at you live and direct today from Black Facts Headquarters Central with another installment of Doc Ock at noon and 9. We hope everybody out there is feeling real fine because it's another beautiful day in paradise. A beautiful day in paradise. And we're continuing on today with our celebration of the 96th birthday, Earth Day, we call it, the 96th Earth Day of none other than Malcolm X, Malik El Shabazz. Some people call him El Malik El Shabazz. He's known by many names. But right about now, he's just about to come in fully to his Detroit Red mode. Okay, but he hasn't got there yet. He's just arrived in Boston and he's being introduced to the city. And as he becomes introduced to the city, we're going to visually introduce you to the black culture at that time. What was it like? What were people seeing walking around the streets every day? What did the people look like? How did they dress? How did they act? What were they into? What were they dealing with? And we haven't got as many images as we would like. There's still more that we would like to share with you, but we've got quite a bit. And today you're going to get a good eyeful of the zoot suit culture. We're going to call it the zoot suit culture. Nobody has called it that. So we are coining that phrase right here, right now, live on the Tubular Black Facts channel. But before we go deep down into this particular rabbit hole, let's go ahead and do our due diligence. Don't forget, if you're watching us on Facebook, give us a like. If you're watching on YouTube, give us a thumbs up. And if you, whichever platform you're watching on, please make sure to go ahead and give us some dap by spreading the word far and wide to your family, your friends, and even some of your enemies. It might just turn them into some frenemies if you turn them on to what we're doing here, because what we're doing here, I guarantee, is not being done in any school in the USA. Certainly not on the elementary, secondary level, and maybe not even on the college level, because everybody has circled up the wagons and has gone into a state of vanilla ice cream culture. Okay, they done took all the spice out the culture, and all we got left is a bean dish, some daggone lentils. Don't nobody want no lentils without no spice. So if you want some spice, become a sustaining member, a supporter of the Black Facts family. Now, carrying on, because I didn't talk too long about that already, but I get excited sometimes and I got to just put the word out there. Let's do our proverb for today. All right, so proverb for today. This one should make a lot of y'all feel good out there, because I think it might be right up somebody's alley out there. I'm not pointing no fingers. I'm just saying. There is no one who became rich because he broke a holiday, and no one who became fat because he broke a fast. Now, I don't want y'all to focus on one part any more than the other. This is a dual action thing here. So you got to focus on both parts. There's no one who became rich because he broke a holiday, and no one who became fat because he broke a fast. So just think about that, and hopefully it'll make you a happier cat. And that proverb is from the country of Ethiopia. We're still coming with the deep proverbs from Ethiopia. I found a lot of good proverbs in Ethiopia. I don't know why that is, but They seem to pop up quite a bit. All right, now, returning to our story of the days of glory of Malcolm X and the Zoot Suit. Woo! We in there, baby. We all up in it like Bennett. And now it's time to go ahead and spin it, because we're going to get deep off into the story. We're reading a whole new chapter. And the title of this chapter, this is chapter 4. This chapter is entitled Laura. Yeah, and I'll let you all figure out why that is. Shorty would take me to groovy, frantic scenes in different chicks and cats pads, where with the lights and the juke down mellow, everybody blew gauge and juiced back and jumped. I met chicks who were fine as May wine and cats who were hip to all happenings. That paragraph is deliberate. Of course, it's just to display a bit more of the slang that was used by everyone I respected as hip in those days. And in no time at all, I was talking the slang like a lifelong hipster. Now, y'all done heard of Jim Crow? I know y'all been hearing about Jim Crow. Okay, because he's back in the news again today. Well, here's a picture here of Jim Crow. But how many of y'all have heard of Zip Coon? Yeah, that's right. Zip Coon. See, Jim Crow was decidedly country. But Zip Coon, look at how sharp he is. Look how he dressing. Okay, look at this. You see Jim Crow got holes all patched up on his clothes. His clothes are in tatters and everything. His hat's all cocked to one side. And then you got Zip Coon. Look like he wearing a zoot suit. Okay? So, that's what we're talking about. Malcolm is trying to move from having been like coming out of Jim Crow, Michigan into Zip Coon, Boston. This is how he made his transition. Like hundreds of thousands of country-bred Negroes who had come to the northern black ghetto before me and have come since, I'd also acquired all the other fashionable ghetto adornments, the zoot suits and conch that I have described, liquor, cigarettes, then reefers, oh yeah, all to erase my embarrassing background. But I still labored one secret humiliation. I couldn't dance. Couldn't dance. I can't remember when it was that I actually learned how. That is to say, I can't recall the specific night or nights, but dancing was the chief action at those pad parties. So I've no doubt about how and why my initiation into Lindy hopping came about. With alcohol or marijuana lightening my head and that wild music wailing away on those portable record players, it didn't take long to loosen up the dancing instincts in my African heritage. Yeah. All I remember is that during some party around this time, when nearly everyone but me was up dancing, some girl grabbed me. They often would take the initiative and grab a partner, for no girl at those parties ever would dream that anyone present couldn't dance. Not even in a dream. And there I was, out on the floor. I was up in the jostling crowd, and suddenly, unexpectedly, I got the idea. It was as though somebody had clicked on a light. My long suppressed African instincts broke through and broke loose. All up in there. Having spent so much time in Mason's white environment, I'd always believed and feared that dancing involved a certain order or pattern of specific steps, as dancing is done by white folks. But here, among my own less inhibited people, I discovered It was simply letting your feet, hands, and body spontaneously act out whatever impulses were stirred by the music. From then on, hardly a party took place without me turning up, inviting myself if I had to, and Lindy hopping my head off. I'd always been fast at picking up new things. I made up for lost time now so fast that soon girls were asking me to dance with them. I worked my partners hard. That's why they liked me so much. When I was at work up in the Roseland men's room, I just couldn't keep still. My shine rag popped with the rhythm of those great bands rocking the ballroom. White customers on the shine stand especially would laugh to see my feet suddenly break loose on their own and cut a few steps. Whites were correct in thinking that black people are natural dancers. Even little kids are, except for those Negroes today who are so quote unquote integrated as I had been, that their instincts are inhibited. You know, those quote unquote dancing jigaboo toys that you wind up? Well, I was like a live one. Music just wound me up. By the next dance for the Boston black folk, I remembered that Lionel Hampton was coming into play. I had given my notice to the Roseland's manager. When I told Ella why I had quit, she laughed aloud. I told her I couldn't find time to shine shoes and dance too. She was glad because she had never liked the idea of my working at that no prestige job. When I told Shorty, he said he'd known I'd soon outgrow it anyway. Shorty could dance all right himself, but for his own reasons, he never cared about going to the big dances. He loved just the music making end of it. He practiced his saxophone and listened to records. It astonished me that Shorty didn't care to go and hear the big bands play. He had his alto sax idol, Johnny Hodges, with Duke Ellington's band, but said he thought too many young musicians were only carbon and copying the big band names on the same instrument. Anyway, Shorty was really serious about nothing except his music, and about working for the day when he could start his own little group to gig around Boston. The morning after I quit Roseland, I was down at the men's clothing store, bright and early. The salesman checked and found that I had missed only one weekly payment. I had A1 credit. I told him I had just quit my job, but he said that didn't make any difference. I could miss paying them for a couple of weeks if I had to. He knew I'd get straight. This time, I studied carefully everything in my size on the racks, and finally, I picked out my second zoot suit. Oh yeah, baby. I was ready to go. It was a shark skin gray with a big, long coat and pants ballooning out at the knees and then tapering down the cuffs so narrow that I had to take off my shoes to get them on and off. With the salesman urging me on, I got another shirt and a hat and new shoes, the kind that were just coming into hipster style, dark orange colored with paper thin soles and knob style toes. It all added up to $70 or $80. It was such a red letter day that I even went and got my first barbershop conk. Oh yeah, baby, I was big time now. This time it didn't hurt so much, just as Shorty had predicted. That night, I timed myself to hit Roseland as the thick of the crowd was coming in. In the thronging lobby, I saw some of the real Roxbury hipsters eyeing my zoot, and some fine women were giving me that look. I sauntered up to the men's room for a short drink from the pint In my inside coat pocket, my replacement was there. A scared, narrow-faced, hungry-looking, little brown-skinned fellow just in town from Kansas City. And when he recognized me, he couldn't keep down his admiration and wonder. I told him to keep cool, that he'd soon catch on to the happening. Everything felt right when I went into the ballroom. Hamp's band was working, and that big wax floor was packed with people, Lindy hopping like crazy. I grabbed some girl I'd never seen, and the next thing I knew, we were out there Lindying away and grinning at each other. It couldn't have been finer. I'd been Lindying previously only in cramped little apartment living rooms, and now I had room to maneuver. Once I really got myself warmed and loosened up, I was snatching partners from among the hundreds of unattached freelancing girls along the sidelines. Almost every one of them could really dance, and I just about went wild. Hamp's band wailing. I was whirling girls so fast their skirts were snapping. Black girls, brown skins, high yellows, even a couple of white girls were there, boosting them up over my hips, my shoulders, into the air. Though I wasn't quite 16 then, I was tall and raw-boned and looked like 21. I was also pretty strong for my age, circling, tap dancing. I was underneath them when they landed, doing the flapping eagle, the kangaroo, and the splits. After that, I never missed a Roseland Lindy Hop as long as I stayed in Boston. And we end right there with the picture of the actual venue, the Roseland Ballroom. So we haven't actually got to the girl yet, but as you can see, things are heating up for Malcolm. Malcolm is he's moved from being an outsider to becoming an insider. Okay, he's moved from being a wallflower to being a what's the word for it? A bona fide dancer. Okay, somebody who could really cut a rug. You know what I'm saying? Spin those girls around and around and throw them up over his head and be right up under him when they landed. Yeah, you have to see that. If you missed it last weekend, you can still see it. Go to my playlist on YouTube. I've got a playlist up there called Malcolm X Speaks. And if you go up there, you can see all the Lindy hopping and zoot suit wearing and learned about the Pachucos and everything. You might have noticed that I showed a number of images in this slideshow with a number of people that didn't look black. That's because they're Mexican, okay? But they took on this zoot suit culture and made it a part of Mexican-American culture. The zoot suit has become a part of Mexican-American culture to this day. So from all the way back in the 30s and the 40s to the present time, almost 100 years of zoot suiting. So you need to just go up there and just check out that Lindy hopping and see what was going on with that. I don't know if they're still Lindy hopping, but they certainly are wearing them zoot suits though. Well, at any rate, our show is about over. It's time for me to go because I got to blow. But in the meantime, right before I go, let me just say a couple things. Number one, if you haven't already, go ahead and give us a like. If you're seeing us on Facebook, if you're looking at us on YouTube, give us a thumbs up. And then become a sustaining member, one of 4 different ways, either on the YouTube, Facebook, or our website. We got links on each and every one of them. If you're on Facebook, you got 3 different options. You can go to Facebook and then go to your notifications. You'll find a link there. You can can't go to my profile picture anymore. I took that one. That one is not up right now. But you can look at if you're on your computer, you can look at the bottom of any of our live streams. You find a link there. And if nothing else, if all else fails, go to YouTube to the Tubular Black Facts channel. And at the bottom, in the description for each live stream, there's a link. It takes you straight to the website, and there's a link there. And then tonight, we'll be returning to read. We're going to read probably tonight and maybe tomorrow night. I think we're going to then close it out. Our reading of the Black Panther Party graphic novel. I just hadn't decided which night we're going to switch yet. But excellent book. I was just talking to my brother about it. Brand new book, hot off the press, 2021 vintage. And the book is by David F. Walker and Marcus Kwame Anderson. Excellent, excellent book with graphics just like you saw here on the cover. All throughout the book, every single page, all the graphics inside are live and in living color. Right. And they took great pains, I could tell. They took great pains to try to get the shadings and the colors, the various skin tone colors just right for each person. I really appreciate that they did that, because a lot of times black folks just come at us as a blob. People don't really get all up inside and really portray us as we should be portrayed, because we just like a rainbow up in here. All right? Talk about a rainbow coalition. We can do that just with black folks, and we don't even need to bring nobody else in. All right. So, peace at least. We'll be black at 9. Look for us then. We'll be here with a grin. In the meanwhile, have a good day and a better tomorrow.